I am absolutely going to testify. I won't even say his name. He is an evil being and is going to pay.
Now,
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Hey, where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second.
The Diddy trial might not be dominating your TV screen like a courtroom drama, but don't get it twisted. The case is very real, and it's getting more chaotic by the day. While major networks are keeping things quiet, those paying attention know there's a lot happening behind the scenes. From sealed testimonies to hush-hush hearings, it's clear why cameras aren't allowed in that courtroom. And now, thanks to Justin Bieber, we might finally understand why. According to sources close to the case, Justin has just dropped something major, leaked footage tied to his time around Diddy. This isn't just another internet rumor or secondhand story. It's actual video evidence that's now made its way into the courtroom. Insiders say Diddy is furious, scrambling behind the scenes, and for good reason. The footage reportedly paints a damning picture of what was happening behind closed doors. Legal experts believe that if this video holds up under scrutiny, it could trigger another wave of lawsuits, or even more criminal charges. What's wild is that Justin had been mostly silent through all of Diddy's scandals over the years. But now, he seems ready to talk, and the timing couldn't be worse for the music mogul. People close to the situation are calling this a turning point in the trial. If Justin's footage checks out, this could be the beginning of the end for Diddy. And if that's the case, there's a lot more trouble ahead. Not just for him, but possibly for others in his inner circle. Back in March 2024, things got real for Sean Diddy Combs. Federal agents showed up at his homes, not one, but both, in Los Angeles and Miami. Homeland Security stormed in and walked out with boxes of electronics, hard drives, and phones. The internet lit up with one question: what were they hoping to find, and who else might be involved? Because this wasn't just about Diddy anymore. For years, whispers followed him, private parties, controlled environments, people coming and going. But now speculation turned into action. Agents believed that if Diddy had been documenting what really happened behind closed doors, it wouldn't just be damaging. It could be criminal. And right in the middle of those swirling rumors stood one familiar name: Justin Bieber.
Today, it's starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'll tell you my number.
Yeah.
Now, to be clear, Justin hasn't been named as a victim. But that didn't stop the internet or insiders from wondering why his name kept coming up. He was around back then. He had close ties to Diddy. He spent time at those mansions. People started asking, what did Justin see? What does he know? And now, he's starting to talk. Fast forward to the trial, day 2. The courtroom was already tense, with journalists and legal experts hanging on every word. But when Justin Bieber's name was mentioned, the mood changed instantly. Insiders say Diddy went still. His usual calm, controlled demeanor cracked for a moment. His jaw locked, his hands clenched. For the first time, it felt like the walls were closing in. Not only had Justin's name come up, but he had apparently shared new information, something that backed Cassie's side of the story. Something that, if proven credible, could open Diddy up to another lawsuit and even more serious consequences. Security got involved, Diddy's legal team whispered, and even the judge paused as the courtroom absorbed what just happened. Reports say the tension was so thick you could feel it pressing against your chest. Diddy wasn't just shaken, he was rattled. Think about it. Justin Bieber, one of the biggest pop stars of a generation, just inserted himself into one of the most controversial trials the entertainment world has seen in years. And Diddy? He's fighting for his name, his legacy, and his freedom. And now someone from his past, who saw it all unfold, is speaking up. This isn't just about celebrity drama. This is about what happens when the truth starts leaking from behind mansion gates. And if what Justin revealed is just the beginning, Diddy might have a much bigger problem on his hands than he ever expected. All of this was bound to come out sooner or later. Justin burst onto the scene as a kid with a voice that stopped the internet. Now 31, he's a global superstar with a complicated history of mentors and industry ties. One of the biggest names to guide him early on was Usher. And tied to that same circle? Diddy. Back then, Diddy was known for glitz, money, and an A-list lifestyle. But behind the glam, whispers followed, exclusive parties, blurred lines, and young artists pulled into his orbit. Bieber was one of them. Photos surfaced, and Diddy himself never hid those ties. But over the last year, the tone around Diddy has shifted. Gone are the playful interviews. Now, it's lawsuits, graphic allegations, words like assault, coercion, and trafficking. These charges turned him into the center of a federal case. And the courtroom isn't even televised, that's how sensitive it is. So how does Justin fit in? For years, people speculated. Was he just swept up in Diddy's lifestyle, or was there more? The internet kept asking, did he see things? Did he experience things he never spoke about? And now, as the first week of trial wraps up, Justin's team is finally saying something. Reps told TMZ that he himself wasn't harmed by Diddy. But they made one thing clear, there are people who were. That one line speaks volumes. He might not be naming names, but the fact that he's speaking during the biggest moment of Diddy's downfall means something. He's distancing himself, watching closely, and he may know a lot more than he's letting on. This wasn't coincidence. This was calculated. Because one of the biggest questions in this entire case is simple. Who else was involved?
When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
But for years, silence. And it's not like Justin never tried speaking. He was just subtle. One person wrote on X, Justin Bieber has been exposing darkness for years. In his Yummy video, his face on a plate signaled he was a victim of monsters like Diddy and Geo Forbes. Connections tied back to Rachel Chandler, Walter Pierce, and that same circle. But right after the first week of courtroom drama, Bieber's team finally breaks their silence. Not random. A message. Prosecutors need more than emotional testimony. They want a pattern. And the strongest pattern is when outsiders, people not romantically involved, start speaking. That's where Justin's statement landed like a bombshell. He didn't say he was harmed. But he confirmed others were. That alone gave prosecutors ammo. It gave the public clarity. And it protected Justin. By speaking now, he distances himself and sets boundaries. I'm not a victim, but I believe some people are. That helps silence speculation before his name gets dragged deeper. But let's not ignore what this really is. Damage control, yes, but strategic too. Bieber doesn't want the courtroom. But the fact that he even addressed it tells you there's more behind the curtain. And the government? They're taking notes. Justin is walking a tightrope. He finally said something, but not much. That silence raises more questions. His representative said, although Justin is not among the victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from justice these victims deserve. Sounds supportive, but vague. Enough to protect himself. Enough to show sympathy. But the hesitation lingers. And then came his Instagram post. A photo with Cassie, captioned with admiration and regret for not speaking sooner. For Diddy, the worst timing imaginable. Bieber's 270 million followers caught it instantly. News outlets exploded. This was no longer just chatter. It was a megastar dropping his perspective mid-trial. Fans began noticing Justin wasn't himself. Tired, jittery, distant. Cryptic posts, blurry images, Bible verses, sad lyrics. People whispered relapse, trauma, pressure. The timing lined up with the Diddy allegations. Maybe it wasn't random. Maybe he was triggered. Maybe the memories came flooding back. Signs of coping, even a cry for help. Meanwhile, the trial pressed on. Cassie, 8 months pregnant, testified for 4 days, detailing alleged abuse, freak-offs, threats, addiction, surveillance, and blackmail. Emotional, vulnerable, but powerful. The defense tried to chip away, using texts and emails. But Cassie stood firm, calling them survival language. She described being drained, humiliated, and terrified. The jury even saw security footage of Diddy attacking her in 2016. Cassie closed the week with a statement. I hope my testimony gives strength and a voice to other survivors. For me, the more I heal, the more I can remember. And the more I can remember, the more I will never forget. It wasn't just testimony, it was reclaiming her story. And she wants the same for Justin too.